say that, but he never listens to that bit. We're going to open today with a fascinating case study of a guy who's probably going to be the Ballon d'Or again this season. He's already scored 16 goals in only 8 league matches for Real Madrid this season, which means if he carries on like that, he's going to score almost 80 goals in the Spanish Championship. It's never been seen before, such a prolific start to the season. He's the first athlete to have more than 100 million Facebook friends. He has 30 million more than Lionel Messi, which he'll be happy to know. He has over 30 million followers on Twitter. He is, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's the darling of social media. How did he and his advisors build this social media empire? What is he doing which is so right compared to other people? And what can we learn from that? One man has the answers for us, Luis Correia, who's going to come and join me on stage. He's the founder and CEO of the company that manages the rights of Cristiano Ronaldo. Give him a warm welcome, please.
Good morning, all. I was asked here to give you some insights on how Cristiano's social media platform was built, and I think the best way to start is with a small video.
Os limites da lógica! Ronaldo! 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 No mata-mapa! Ronaldo matou! Samba!
Well, those are pretty impressive numbers, but as everything in life, it started and it had a beginning. And why should we be in social media was a question that we asked ourselves many times. We were speaking 5 years ago, and what looks obvious today generated us some doubts because it was not so preeminent as it is today. And with Cristiano Ronaldo, we had to have extra caution because everything he does, everything he says, has a huge dimension. And we were very afraid that one small mistake could jeopardize all the project and all his presence in social media. At that time, there was a lot of bad experience with sportsmen, with their social media. So, criticizing referees, criticizing criticizing managers. So, that made us think that we have to tell that Ronaldo was not probably the more engaged with social media. So we had troubles of getting content. We had the traditional media with several opposition. We can understand why, but at that time, those things made us think a lot before really going into social media. On the other hand, we knew that this was the way to the young generations to communicate, and we had to be part of it. We realized that internet wasn't used for people to be isolated, but to communicate. And we had to be part of it. So it was also a possibility of Ronaldo showing who he is without filters. He had an image too much love, hate, and it was important that he would be able to send his own message to show how he really is and share it with the fans. So we decided that the risk of not being there was much higher than the potential risks of being there. And I remember a funny conversation with some Facebook responsibles where they told us, listen, you really have to be there. Ronaldo has the potential to get to 10 million followers. And we said, oh, I don't believe it. That's the size of Portugal. And here we are with these huge numbers. The second thing that we wanted to share with you is how we did it. We first, because we'd like to go in from zero, so what we did before we really starting post, we reclaimed the pages that were non-official, that were in the internet, and then in the South Africa World Cup, we really decided to go, which was good because we hardly could communicate with Cristiano, so we just had to ask him videos or by text and SMS. So he posted his first video, and after we had our real test, the birth of his son. So for you to see the contest, nobody knew about it. We knew it, but the public didn't. It was in South Africa in the middle of the World Cup, and news started coming like a bomb because some rumors started to come, and this was our really test for a lot of things. So it was a way. So we were deciding the best way to stop the speculation and to share this and tell that this is true. But so we thought about all the traditional, so giving an interview, doing a statement exclusive for any media. But then we quickly decided, let's do it on social media. Let's post it on Facebook. You control the message. You say whatever you want to say, and you can close it. So this moment was really what gave the boost to his social media, because it also helped us to help Cristiano to realize how important this could be, how controlling the message can be important for him. So after that, there are some milestones that we want to share. So this is the most liked post that he had, almost 3.5 million likes. With Mandela, it also broke all the records at that period. Most shared post. What's unbelievable about Cristiano, and some of this information is not updated at the moment, because we had to make the presentation on the 17th, and from the 17th from now, things changed. Some other posts were more shared. So this is a dynamic activity. This has a life on its own that really shows the power of social media. Guinness Book of Records is always nice to have. Sports Tweet of the Year. So all of these are some of the milestones, some of the key moments that Cristiano has had on his way to, on his path on social media. Regarding strategy, it was important for us and for Cristiano to see how to be on social media. So we think we got a good mix. What we did is we got a good mix between the commercial posts, his personal life, and the sports posts, because what we wanted to give the fans authenticity, so they realize that it's Cristiano's content that he's saying, but on the other hand, so through his endorsement commitments, his commercial commitments, and also on sports, he cannot take pictures of himself while he's playing. So we had to do a very balanced mix of everything. Obviously, we know that the posts where he speaks about his personal life are the most liked, but if you do a good balance, the message is credible, and we say exactly what we want to say. So, and the results. So with the results, there is very funny statistics, and in the end of the day, after you've seen some of the statistics that I'll share with you, for us commercially about Ronaldo, the best tool that you can get from social media is that before we had to convince, we had to say everybody that how big, how popular Ronaldo is, and what impact does he have in football. Now, we just have to show. And after these slides, you'll see why. So these are the numbers, not updated anymore, but impressive in all the social media, in the more important social media platforms. This is something that we just got to 100 million Facebook fans, so also they prepare some nice statistics. So like you could fill over Portugal for 10 times or wrap the world 4 times if all of Cristiano's fans join hands. We are speaking about 155 or 160 million followers. That's one of the top 5 countries in the world. So there would be a continent cheering, just looking for a player, just curious about what he does. So that means a lot. So gender, so we can break down by gender, by country, everything. So the amount of likes, comments, shares that it generates, it's absolutely huge. And these are some comparisons. So number 2 celebrity on Facebook, and you see who is next to him. We'll speak about that a little bit later. With athletes, so it shows football. It's a really powerful sport. It's the global sport in the world at the moment. Celebrities in Twitter, so there he is, Cristiano again on the top 10. Athletes in Twitter, nothing new. This is interesting, more than CNN and the New York Times together. So when Ronaldo talks, he talks to a global audience. How many TV channels have 155 million listening to the content? So this really means the power of the stars and the power of football players, which we will see after. So more than Coca-Cola, more than McDonald's and Nike together, 2 of the biggest brands in the world. More than 3 of American sports legends all together. This is football. It's everywhere. It's the capacity of attracting people, of engaging, and Cristiano is the leader on this. So, conclusions. Cristiano is today probably the most followed person in the planet with genuine curiosity. I'll see some comparisons between the power of Cristiano and the brand. This is the same post of a big brand posted on Cristiano's social media and on the brand's social media. You can see the difference. Twitter the same. Then this is very important statistic, because this leads us to a very important conclusion. When one player has more fans than 2 of the more famous, 2 of the more preeminent historic English Premier League clubs, it means something. It means the power of the star. Today, the market is very star-driven, so in football, you have the core supporters who was born as a Manchester United fan, will die as a Manchester United fan. But there's a second layer of supporters coming from foreign countries, different continents. So a Manchester United-born fan will die a Manchester United-born fan. But if I'm in Indonesia, if I'm in Colombia, if I'm in China, I follow my favorite players. So the club, the followers will change clubs adapting to where their favorite players are. And the example that I always give, it's Michael Jordan. Everybody followed the Chicago Bulls when Jordan played there. Now, things changed. The Bulls don't care anymore. So now Cristiano, Mourinho, James Rodriguez, Messi, they have the power of bringing new fans to the club. And it's a new way of seeing football. So as you see, more fans than Barcelona, more fans than Real Madrid. So this is Cristiano Ronaldo. This is his footprint on social media. And hope you enjoyed. And I'm here to answer some questions if you have them.
Take a seat. That's some fascinating figures that you've got to show us here. So Cristiano Ronaldo is more powerful than his employer. How does that work, your relationship with the club, compared to his social activity, his activity on social media?
No, it's social. I think the clubs understood it now. And working together, we get benefits for all. Because when you see a football player, it doesn't have the capacity of generating content like a club, or even as a singer. When you see the top 5 celebrities in Facebook are singers who can really promote it because they can put exclusive musics, they can put exclusive content. So if you work with the club, I think we can get to a mutual beneficial cooperation. So Cristiano will have more content and the club gets to other markets. But indeed, it's a new reality, the power that these top star football players have in this, which is fair. They are the ones who play, so it's more than fair.
But we see many examples of clubs actually putting obstacles in front of their players for the social media activity. You know, lots of clubs draw up a list of what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do.
Yeah,
how did you manage that?
Well, I think the players are grown-ups, that are adults. Obviously, there was, I think, less and less, but especially a few years ago, there was some problems of players tweeting or posting while after a game and just said things that they didn't want to say, but that could happen if they speak with the press. I think it's okay that clubs and players cooperate, but I don't think forbidden or restricting it's the option. I think it's a way of having good sense, because it's something that of their own lives, of their own activity, which they want to share. So forbidden is never the best way of doing things.
I'm going to open up for your questions. I've just got a last one from me. On a practical level, day to day, how does it work with Ronaldo? Does he suggest things to you? Do you suggest things to him? How do you get the balance between commercial activity and personal activity?
Well, you see, we know what. So what we do have with the commercial activity, it's slightly simpler, because we engage with the sponsors and we try to post in the best periods. And the rest, it follows on 2 ways. Either is Ronaldo who's going to have dinner or is doing something and he sends us photos that he wants to share. And sometimes we suggest him, listen, there is a nice event, or this is interesting, do you want to say anything about it? And then he tells us the message, and we just work it to be, because he doesn't post in Portuguese, so we have to work a little bit to post, but the message is his. I think that's the key of the success, because all these fans realize that they are getting a piece of Ronaldo's life.
Excellent. Who would like to start the questions from the floor? Yes, young man here.
Hi, thank you. Hi,
Hello.
Benjamin Elliott from Sahi Digital Sports. Every social media expert in the room knows that you can purchase followers, whether on Facebook, Twitter, and so on. So I want to understand, you've mentioned the statistics, very interesting. 11 posts over 2 million. So that gives an approximate engagement of about 2%. So in terms of his Cristiano Ronaldo's engaged audience. How do you focus on the engagement within a strategy? And more importantly, how do you monetize the engagement of Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well,
thank you.
Obviously, we try to get the best engagement possible, but then, first it goes with the personalities. So some of them are more willing to give personal content. Some of them are more reluctant. Ronaldo likes to share, but is not a social media passionate that everywhere he goes, he really needs to post. So we don't have the personal content as often to generate more engagement, but it's part of it. I think with all the positive things that he has, he's in a pretty good situation. Regarding the monetizing, that's the difficulty, and I think we've been doing some attempts, some projects. One is obvious. Everyone in each of his sponsors, every brand that wants to be connected to Ronaldo, is interested on his ability to communicate through social media. So on that way, that's a monetization because his value as a brand is much higher. The direct monetization is a more difficult. I think we have some interesting projects, and it will come in the next few years. Projects when we can see the direct link between his digital followers and possible monetization. But what's really important is that the connection that he has with the fans and building his brand. All the rest comes after that.
Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Darryl Broadfoot from the Scottish Football Association. I'm interested to find out the relationship between Cristiano Ronaldo, the brand, and the club. And I know you say you have a good relationship with Real Madrid, but surely there must have been some difficulties when potentially the club see their commercial assets being cannibalized by this hugely kind of global football brand in his own right. Were there some difficulties in getting Real Madrid to understand that actually there might be a secondary benefit to the club from a commercial point of view?
No. Real Madrid obviously understands, even because they share some of these individual image rights. But I think now it's standard that there is a separation between individual rights and club rights. So it's obvious that for Real Madrid, having Ronaldo on his team makes his revenues higher, because it leads to broader audiences, more sponsors, everything. Obviously, is in 6 years in Real Madrid, so we had the time to shape all the areas. But as I told you, cooperating adds value for both.
Aidar Mahmetov, Astana Presidential Club from Kazakhstan. I have, as far as I understood, the whole activity of Ronaldo on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is doing by competent professional people. Does Ronaldo also doing something by himself, personal things, for example, if he would like to put something, to tweet something, does he do it or not? And who is deciding about the content?
No, who decides in the end of the day? It's him who decides. It's a personal page. What he does, instead of posting it directly, most of the times, even because it doesn't post in Portuguese, he posts in English, so to avoid spelling mistakes, he said, listen, just upload this, sends to us and asks us to just upload this, and then we make sure everything is correct and just put it. So it's his content. The only difference, instead of him putting on the phone, he sends to us with the message that he wants to say, and we upload it.
At the back.
Yes, hi, I'm Joel Tendon from the Fan Valley social network. What we've seen here is you're using like Ronaldo to tweet to followers a message, so it's for me very much a broadcasting situation. Have you tried, for example, Ronaldo reacting to what fans would say about him?
Yeah, sometimes we do. Obviously, he's aware. We cannot follow all the comments because it's huge comments. But we make sure that he gets to some of the messages. But there is a lot of way to getting feedback from the fans. So not only from social media, he gets tons of letters. He gets support. He gets messages. So it's obviously he cannot communicate directly to any one of those, but yeah, there are ways to put the fans in direct touch with Cristiano.
Hello, this is Julian Senderos from Sai Digital. Sorry, really. I saw that you're present on Tencent, Chinese platform. Is there any opportunities for you to enter Sina Weibo as well, which is the most upgrowing?
So far, until very recently, we had Cristiano had exclusivity with Tencent, but very soon we'll open to the other Chinese networks. So far, it was exclusive commitment, which is over now.
Hello, this is Oliver Kraus from Allianz. Actually, question on the demographics on the fan base. You were talking about the gender, about the nationalities. Can you refer a little bit about on the age? I mean, percentage of age. And second question, if you allow, do you especially target on nationalities, on gender and on languages, or do you basically go with global posts?
No, unless it's a very specific event on a specific country that he wants to say the message. I don't know, something happened in Portugal, or when was the earthquakes and floods in Turkey. So unless it's a very particular event, we don't geo-target. But also we don't on the social media. We don't have a strategy to reach this or that. That's the good thing about Cristiano. It's about genuine interest from him. So we post whatever content he gives us, apart for the commercial commitments. So this interest on him comes genuinely. So we don't try a strategy to get to this audience, get to this market. It just comes naturally, and as we do, we don't do nothing to really promote the fans' engagements apart from sharing and being aware of Ronaldo's life and Ronaldo's some private moments.
Yes.
Robert Błaszczak. Is it on? Yes. Robert Błaszczak from Sportsman Media Group. In your presentation, you've made it quite clear that it is very important for an athlete to work closely with the club in producing content. With the potential you have, with the capacity, what's the plan after his retirement, when he will be without the club and with this audience, with the followers or likes on Facebook? What's your plan with that?
Well, first, I think he will always be somehow connected to Real Madrid, and then always also to Man United. But when he stops playing, it's a different situation, because it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not part of any club. Obviously, his legacy comes from what is done in the pitch and the clubs he played for. The thing with Cristiano is the few players that we believe that after retire, he will still be a brand. He'll still have a strong brand attached. So not in social media uses to promote it, but he has some projects with his own personal brand. So the strategy is simple. So promote this brand while he's on the top of his game, so that they get consistency. So when he retires, the brands are established in the market, and he will have time to manage all these brands and more availability to promote them.
And we see David Beckham is still well placed even after stopping playing football.
Of course, and times and things evolve. So things move faster now. So Ronaldo Beckham had a huge impact, but when Ronaldo will stop playing 8 or 9 years after Beckham. So everything it's more developed. So Beckham opened the way, but then new doors are open now. So yes, we feel that Ronaldo has the potential to become a brand of his own.
Little question about the media. You pointed out that there are more followers than for many very large, powerful media voices, televisions and newspapers. It's obviously important for you to control the message. So what's the future for traditional journalists? Are you trying to kill people like me?
No, by the contrary, I give you more to speak about. No, it's traditional media will always have their way. So covering the events and also putting questions. So it's a way to really find out more about one person. It's not just what the person says. It's also answering questions about it. And apart from his social media presence, Ronaldo is a constant presence in a worldwide press. So it's not either one way or the other. No, so it's complementary. It's complementary. So it's normal to see Ronaldo speaking or giving interviews to some of the biggest media in the world.
Anybody else?
Hi, Darren. Hi, Luis. Yeah, my name's Alex Stone. I'm working at FIFA as a social media manager. Less of a question, more of an invitation. It seemed too good of an opportunity to miss. The success of the post from last year's Ballon d'Or equated with our success prior to the World Cup. That was our most successful post. And I wondered whether somebody from your team would be in Zurich on the 12th of January, were Cristiano to make the final 3, of course.
Hopefully he makes it to the final 3, so if he does, for sure some of us will be here in Zurich.
Superb, because we'd love to work with
as usual.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we can wrap it up there. Final, perhaps one more question over here. Thank you.
Good morning. Do you sometimes have problems of balancing the interests of the personal sponsors of Cristiano and the sponsors of the club? For instance, I believe Cristiano is sponsored personally by Nike, and Real Madrid is sponsored by Adidas.
Well,
how do you balance this?
I think usually no, but with sports brands, it's kind of allowed. Because in the end of the day, it's how can I say it in English? It's a tool for work. Obviously, this is commercial, but the player has to wear the boots where he feels comfortable, regardless of potential deals. So it's assumed that any club, regarding with the gear sponsor and the player's own sponsor regarding boots, there's an opening. It happens in every club. Regarding the other sponsors, yes, with the club, with the clubs generally, basically with all clubs, we cannot get the players to have personal sponsors that are direct competitors of club sponsors. So usually there are some blocked categories that the players cannot get into individual endorsements.
Thank you very much, Luis. A fascinating insight into the most powerful athlete on social media. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luis.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next